Chiefs Kingdom, we have breaking news. My name is Jace Andrews. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And I'll tell you what, the Chiefs have made the first move of the 2023 deadline, and it is trading for the former Chief, Mecole Hardman, as he is back. We're going to get into the latest as this is breaking just now. Mecole Hardman back with the Chiefs. But I'm going to tell you what, this is exactly why you sub. When breaking news happens, we're right here to cover it. We're getting videos out to you as soon as possible. Let's try and get to 47,000 subscribers. We are only 674 away. I believe in Chiefs Kingdom. Hit that sub button right now. We got breaking news for you coming your way, and we're going to be covering the Chiefs all year long, so hit that sub button. Okay, this came out from Adam Schefter, where we first got the first report. Jets have informed that Jets informed former Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman that he is being sent back to Kansas City in another late-round draft pick swap. Well, what does the late-round draft pick swap mean? It means he's getting traded for a bag of chips. The Jets are sending wide receiver Mecole Hardman in a 2025 7th round of the Chiefs for a 2025 6th. First of all, is anyone surprised by this? No. Second of all, how in the world did the Chiefs just pull this off? They didn't sign him in the offseason. They let him go. And now guess what? You gave up a bag of chips. I mean, it's not even affecting your draft this year. That's an insane trade pulled off there by Brett Veach to get a guy that Patrick Mahomes trusts, which is something that may be needed right now. All right, to welcome back Mecole Hardman to the Chiefs, I want you to do me a favor and type 17 in the chat. I want to see this chat loaded with 17s. We got to welcome back Mecole because, boy, oh boy, he was a guy with the Chiefs. And I'm telling you what, he is going to be a real force with his gadget-type plays, and he knows the offense. There's no Reid to trade him. He may play this Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in uniform on the field making plays with Patrick Mahomes against the Chargers this Sunday. Get some 17s in the chat. Let's get this going. Okay, I will say this. Mecole Hardman, not so good this year. Now, let's just say this. 3 targets, 1 reception, 6 yards. The whole reason that Hardman was going to the Jets in 2023 was because he was supposed to be a piece for Aaron Rodgers. They were supposed to use him as kind of that gadget-type play. And then when Rodgers went down in the 4th play, well, Hardman's production, non-existent to the point of literally 3 targets. Dude did not do anything. And I'm going to say this. It's partly to the way the Jets used him, but it's also partly to Mecole Hardman. I mean, his big gain was really with Patrick Mahomes, which is where he has proven success. It's with the Chiefs. It's not with anybody else. He's come with the Chiefs, and he's shown that, like, hey, I can make big plays really anytime you need them. It's kind of crazy because at the same time, you have Hardman, who has been an excellent guy with the Chiefs, and every now and then has a spectacular game, and yet he goes to the Jets and it's just like nothing. Well, guess what? Now you get him back, and I'm going to tell you what. That absolute stat numbers he put up the Chiefs were insane. You know what's also insane, though? PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports, and it's the most exciting way to play DFS. It will add a ton of excitement to your sports viewing experience. Watch your progress update in real time. You can win up to 25 times your entry amount and cash out your winnings with quick scoring, settling, withdrawals. It's super easy with PrizePicks. Honestly, it's just going to be you against the numbers. You don't have to battle thousands of other players with pros and sharks. All you got to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Now, I know the Chiefs game is until Sunday, so I'm going to put my little entries in on Thursday Night Football tomorrow between the Jaguars and the Saints. And with Trevor Lawrence's questionable decision on whether he's going to play and whether he's not, I'm going Travis Etienne, the more over 63.5 rushing yards. They're going to be using him a lot. Plus, Calvin Ridley and Chris Olave, just one of them has to get some sort of touchdown. Yeah, no way they don't score that. Give me the more on that. And Derek Carr, over a half interception. Yeah, he's going to throw one. I mean, this Jaguars defense has been a turnover machine. Plus, if you're not going more, you're not really living. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. The best thing about PrizePicks, I got those picks in less than 60 seconds. So again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Free money, guys. Free money. Go get it. Shout out to PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. I talked about Mecole Hardman and his Chiefs stats. Well, right there, it's the proof. It's obvious that this guy knows exactly what he is doing on this Chiefs staff. Those stats do not lie. And on top of which, there's not really a clear wide receiver one on this team at the moment. Does Mecole Hardman fill that wide receiver one? Not exactly. But at the same time, guess what he does? Add more depth. Adds more availability in the playbook. And quite honestly with you, he adds the knowledge of Andy Reid's playbook. Because Kadarius Toney was a trade last year. Marquise Valdes-Scantling's just in his second year. Sky Moore's also in his second year out of college, might I add. And then Rashee Rice is a first-year guy. Guess what? You've got Mecole Hardman, who has 4 years of experience with this Chiefs offense, and he knows Andy Reid like the back of his hand. It's going to be great. And you know the best thing about it? We called it. You, me, Chiefs Kingdom, we all called it. So I want you to stop right now. Give you a pat on the back. We called this trade a week ago. Now, was our trade a little bit off? Yes, but we expected this to happen. This is what we had. We had Mecole Hardman and a 7th-round pick to the Chiefs for a 5th-round pick, both of those being 2024, you see. Well, we almost hit it spot on the nose, because here's the actual trade. It was 2025 7th-round pick and a 2025 6th-round pick. I'd argue that ours was a better deal for the Jets. It was, and yet they got absolutely fleeced here. They traded him for a bag of chips, but at the same time, they weren't really getting much out of it. So I guess if you're the Jets, you just get an extra bump up in the picks. All I'm saying is, man, with Brett Veach's history, I'm just kind of happy he made a move. And if you're happy that he made a move as well, then I want you to do me a favor. Go down and press that like button, because I'm telling you what, Brett Veach is a guy who has been stingy a lot during the trade deadline. In fact, last year, trading Kadarius Toney, well, that was one of the biggest trades he had made as the Chiefs GM. So he's making a move, and we're not even close to the deadline. We still got a little, actually, right at 2 weeks right about now. So if you're happy he made a move, hit that like button. The biggest thing, though, that I think Mecole Hardman brings to the Chiefs is not necessarily his athletic ability, his intangibles, the way he runs route, because you can find guys that have the athletic abilities that Mecole Hardman has. But Mahomes can trust Hardman. And I got to be honest, Mahomes has really kind of looked timid this year. He seems questionable when throwing the ball to certain receivers, and it almost seems like he's hesitant to get it out there. Well, with Mecole Hardman, guess what? You don't have to worry about that. He's a guy that, hey, I've played with you for 4 years. I'm going to be able to trust you. I'm going to be able to throw the ball to you. Part of me thinks that Mahomes said, hey, if we can get Mecole back, get him to me right now. We're going to use him in ways that you've never seen. Now, here's the real question, though, because I got to be honest, this doesn't really do too much. So, does Veach make another move? The wide receiver issue was not exactly the depth. It was who is the wide receiver one. I don't think that Mecole Hardman is wide receiver one, so I want you to let me know, does Brett Veach make another move before the trade deadline here on October 31st? I want you to type Y for yes or type in for no, as, man, I think he should, but we'll have to see. Let me know what you think. Type Y for yes, type in for no. This doesn't really solve anything. I got to be honest. I mean, I love Mecole Hardman. I think he's going to be a great use in this Chiefs offense. But here's the thing. The problem, like I said, was not the depth. The Chiefs have depth galore. The problem was that they don't have a clear wide receiver one. Well, Mecole Hardman doesn't really make a clear wide receiver one, so I think Brett Veach almost has to make another move. And there's been talks flying around of other Chiefs wide receiver trade targets. Well, here are the 3 that I think would be adequate at a wide receiver one position. 2, maybe more than the third. Marquise Brown, the wide receiver out of Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins, you know the Chiefs were about to get him and, well, signed with the Titans. Darnell, Mooney along with them, but I'm going to focus more on Hopkins and Brown, as those 2 could be clear wide receiver ones with the Chiefs, and yet we don't know if that's going to happen. Mecole Hardman is definitely not that. We're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, to be quite honest with you, there's nothing we can do right now. We're going to have to wait and see what Brett Veach does. Will he make another move? Will he try and find somebody else to pair with Hardman, to put on this wide receiver depth chart? Because how concerning is he with this wide receivers? If he's not concerned, well, then Mecole Hardman was the easy fix. If he is concerned, then we'll see. Now, my opinion, maybe we'll see if Mecole Hardman this Sunday, obviously already knows the offense. He'll be playing this Sunday. I'm almost positive. We're going to see what he does. But here's the thing. That's one reunion we have talked about on the show. what about another reunion? Well, Frank Clark is that other reunion, and I'm telling you, things are heating up with him as well. We got this today saying former Chiefs defensive line Frank Clark will be getting a physical done tomorrow at the Chiefs team facility. Now, Clark is a free agent after getting released by the Broncos this past Friday and could sign with any team. Well, guess what? Some Chiefs fans took to Twitter saying, hey, Frank, I hear you're in the area. I hear you're coming. Hit me up. Well, guess what? Frank Clark responded and said, link up on Red Friday. I land on Thursday. Frank Clark is going to be a Kansas City Chief by Friday. Looks like another reunion is coming. It's just, I don't understand how Brett Veach has done this, but Frank Clark lost in free agency. Mecole Hardman lost in free agency. Guess what? They're going to get these back for dirt cheap. They already got Mecole for literally a bag of chips. Now you're going to get Frank Clark back, it looks like. I'm telling you what, it's a good time to be a Chiefs fan because not only are the Chiefs 5-1, but they are actively making moves and figuring out how to build around this team with the limited cap space, which is something that is tough to do. I like the Frank Clark. Hopefully that comes to fruition because you get Charles Omenihu back, you get Frank Clark back, this defensive line may be top 2, and they may not be number 2. That's all I'm going to say. We appreciate you watching today's video. As always, if you get breaking news, we're going to have it for you as quick as possible. So make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Because if you're watching this a couple hours later, guess what? If you hit the notification bell, you would have gotten alerted to this video and known right away that the Chiefs traded for Mecole Hardman. We appreciate you watching, and as always, peace out.